Top of the morning to you. I'm Michael, or as the grandkids call me, Roo. Glad to have you aboard this morning. I'll look over and see who's signed in yet. I haven't even looked. I've been cleaning up the desk this morning. I had a busy day yesterday. I know all of you do, or should, or will, or could. All those things. Anyway, glad to have you aboard this morning. Man, I just had stuff piled everywhere. I even did a little live shot earlier this morning. Stuff is, and so I'm going like, well, wait, I paint in that mess all the time anyway. So now you know why I had to move back upstairs, because I leave. My mother, my brother always said, you leave a big wake. You know what that means? I mean, you're going through the water with it. You're like a tugboat, you know. It looks like you're just moving slow, but you're churning up a lot of if you're on the Mississippi, you're churning up enough dirt to plant in. All right. Hey, anyway, thank you for being here this morning. Man, a bunch of you jumped on since I've been looking over there. So, Belinda, welcome to you. I have to look over here because my computer's here. Belinda, thank you. Lisa, welcome. Michael Ashburn, good morning to you. Alex, sun's up almost, he says, out on the West Coast. Great day, man. I don't know how you do it, but you must go to bed early, because by the time my brain finally shuts down, batteries power down, it's like late 30. And so it's hard for me to get up. Somebody said, why don't you do this show at 7 o'clock? And I'm going like, really? At night? No. I'm dozing then. And so anyway, thank you for being here. Jackie Wallace, thank you for being here. Skeeter Pal. I thought I shut my message machine off, but it just popped one up there. Hello, Ruse, R-E-Q. I don't know what that is, but regular, required, or something. Can you please spell your last name? Yes. Oh, you want me to do that now? H-A-U-N, Han. It's the English spelling of the German form Han, H-A-H-N. There's H-A-N-N, H-A-W-N, H-O-N, H-O-N-N, H-A-H-N, H-A-U-N is the English spelling. So I lean it really hard toward the German spelling, because there's rumors that my great was a stowaway from Hamburg years ago. And so as far as ancestry can take it back, there's a couple little links, but we haven't found him, and we really don't care. It makes a great story. So had chickens and roosters when I was a kid. My uncle always said, our name means rooster. It's rooster. It's here. Here's what it means, and here's about your great. And so that's how it got there. So it's H-A-U-N. Good morning from Central Ohio, as opposed to Southern Northern. I appreciate it. Crystal, thank you. Kim Sheets, good morning to you. Trish Brown, welcome. Jessica Halleck, Margaret, welcome. I hope your trip was good, fulfilling, successful, pleasurable. I hope you did some sketching on the road. Ruse Crew, that's it. Ruse Crew, there we go. R-O-O-S-C-R-E-W, hashtag Ruse Crew. I'll start using that a little bit, but just hashtag Roodoodles if you really want to find me. If you want to find anything about Roo or Roodoodles, just go to roodoodles.com. Vive Lim, nice to see you. Good morning. Patricia, thank you from steamy South Florida. Terry Tardy, yeah, it's 6 a.m. there. Yeah, I know that's pretty early for you guys. So out on you're out there with Alex you're in Coos Bay. He's out the California coast. Deborah Shinoa, thank you for being here. Your dog's name is Pipperoo. I love it, Jessica. That's hilarious. Okay, Pipperoo. Is that like, I'd like to go out and yell that in the neighborhood, Pipperoo! People go, okay. All right, who knows? Deborah, thank you. Cindy, welcome. Howdy to you, too. It's Rungish. Bobby King, welcome. Miss Carla, Muggy from Arkansas. Julie, man, you guys are piling on here. Marlene Little, my sister says, when I cook, I make a flower cloud. I love it. Flower clouds are good. When a cook claps their hands, poof, and then they have to look through there. It reminds me of my old Flintlock days, and rendezvous back in the 1800s when I was, I dated Mary Todd Lincoln. That's how old I am. And Duffy, whoa, thank you for joining me again today from Ireland. Glad to have you from that green land. And yes, you said it's green and verdant. Verdant, is that a good word? That'd be a good color for that green that Alex been looking for. Verdant green. I lived in Pontevedra for a while, and so Vidra is taken from verdant or Vidra green, so that's good. I think I missed you, Terry Creasy. Beautiful day in Roanoke, Virginia. Reagan Robertson, thank you. Judy, Brittany, Karen, great day. Mike Pratt, welcome to you, my friend. This is my wood chopping buddy. Still going to make it out there one of these days. I promise. Come in that direction. One of these days, I'll look you up out on the other side of North Carolina. Barbara Nichols, Hope Wade, just discovered you and love the video I watched so far. Hey, thank you very much, Hope. People are discovering this, so I'm just going to back up today and talk a little bit. So get your pens ready, get your paper ready, get your pencils ready, get your paint ready, get your brushes ready. Boy, that would have been such a great alliteration, huh? If someone had thought about, can you imagine this on the Sunday sermon today? We're going to preach about paper and pens and pencils and paint and brushes. And people go, oh, that doesn't start with a B. Anyway, preachers always do that. And there's preacher. So preacher preaches about pens. But I'm going to talk a little bit about that. So if you want to take some notes, look, this is not teaching you. This is just sort of how I stumbled into using the supplies that I use now. So that's going to be a little important thing that we talk about today. So Hope, thank you. Jean Ann, you're back with me this morning. Teresa, thank you. Linda, thank you. Linda, I mentioned the sketch yesterday. I love the flower you did. Luann, thank you. I always love to have you with me. And Judy, you two show up because you two have a funky sense of humor. Today's joke day, by the way. I read that. So Beverly French Davis, thank you for being here. I like the word French in your name. And Viveka in New Bern. Wow, I know about New Bern up the Pamlico Sound. I flew out of the little airport down there one time. Scariest flight I ever had, coming out in a storm. So Deborah says she painted 2 eagles outside her comfort zone yesterday. Boy, they are hard to catch in paint, aren't they? Say boom, shit. It's all right. So I'm going to get into it. So thank you for joining me today. I want to say hi. I'll stop and do that from time to time. So if you don't like having your name called, we'll make up a new name for you. Here's the desk this morning. Here's what we're looking at already. There it is right there. The orchestra's laid out. And that. Wait a minute. Look at this. This is some. You can tell I was on a Zoom call yesterday, right? There's some whittling. I was whittling at my desk yesterday. Don't you love it when you just make a mess and then you go, why did I do this? I have to clean it up. But whittling inside when it's too hot to go outside. I was getting ready to whittle another Roodoodle out of these twigs that I picked up. There's a couple right there. These turned into roosters. And so I was just sitting here whittling. I might just whittle one online one day. Who knows? Just grab the thing and start whittling. And yes, you can whittle toward yourself. You just have to make sure that this thumb is down when the knife comes up there. And my grandfather said that's the first rule, never whittle toward yourself. But I'm not sure that's true. You can actually do it. So anyway, I do seriously whittle. And I don't whittle with an expensive knife. I whittle with a Swiss Army knife. I was convicted from buying a very expensive $150 whittling knife one time. And the guy said, well, I just whittled all my little things with a Swiss Army knife. And I went, come on. All right, I do need to throw that in the trash. I think I got some of it close there. All right, so it's day 89. Here we are. Terry Tardy, you're on the show today. I saw your name pop up. I think I said hello. Here it goes. There's day 89 right there. That's it right there. Wow, 89 days. I'm just going to mark that here as a little. 89 was on 6. What is today? 6/2/20. Just so I can remember that when I put this. They put that in my casket. That guy was crazy. Hey, a little orchestra today. So let's see who's going to go in the orchestra. Then we'll get going. And while I do this, how about doing this? Hey, Karen, thank you for liking my work. Karen, would you do this for me? Send me something that you want me, and don't send me a dog or a cat or, hey, paint my cat. No, don't send it. Just type in something. You got a few seconds while I paint the orchestra this morning and just get the music started. What kind of rooster should I paint today? I've got a couple ideas. And I've got a couple things maybe laid out, but I just kind of left a blank slate. So you want to see a rooster, this or that, or a hen and a roo, or whatever you want. You've got about a minute to do that. I'll pick out the one that just sort of resounds to me. Bing! It's the idea mode. So we'll go from there. So here's a little music. I started off with a little Bach again this morning. I liked it yesterday, and so I'm going to go in here. One thing I noticed that my orchestra was missing, and this is the orchestra that I've been adding to for quite a while. I've been building this orchestra every morning. And look, this is just on a piece of scrap cardboard. See, can you paint on anything? Yes, it's not even watercolor paper. It's like a packing cardboard from the bottom of a box. All right, a rooster juggling. I see these would come up, so I'm going to park it right there. It's 7/2, not 6/2. Thank you. So I lost a month. Wow, that month went fast. 7/2. It's July 2nd. Oh my gosh. Here I'm going to put 7. You knucklehead. All right, 7. All right, thank you, Terry, for that correction. So this is a piece of cardboard. Look, but I noticed something was missing in the orchestra. Here it is right here. I'm just going to put in, and it's pretty big. It's overpowering. It goes down like this. It comes around, and then there's the guy standing in front of it. You know what it is, right? It's a tuba. And then, of course, next to the tuba is what shouldn't be, and it's bleeding over into the choir. It's a trombone. And as I think it was Garrison Keillor who used to say, I wish all the trombone players would stand outside. That'd be a great place for them. These are the trumpet players over here. I hadn't done any trumpet players anyway. I hadn't put the horn section in the orchestra. Some of you let me go to sleep on that one. So I don't know if Bach wrote a lot of pieces for the tuba. This tuba's brass, and so is this one here. So all right, so this gives me a minute to just put some horn sections in. Let me get this guy a little bit of a head of hair, and he probably has a name like mine. It's a German name. He probably has Lederhosen and the tuba players, and he plays on the weekends in a polka band. So let's see. Worked on that tuba for a while. That's pretty funny. All right, so a little dark hair over here, and then put this guy in a little bit of my paint's not warmed up. I'm gonna have to warm me and the paint up, but he's in. There it is, right there. And I need to put a music stand in front of these guys because not that they use it, but it looks the part. Okay, so there's the orchestra. Put a tuba in this morning. There they are. Hey, sometimes it's just illustrative and it's just gesture painting, and that's what you need to get better at, not as a teacher, but as an encourager. Just when you sit, like I sit and I'm on the phone, if you could zoom out on my desk right now, which I don't want you to, oh my gosh, every little piece of paper has something doodled on it. At the end of the day, I have to throw this piece of paper away because, and I've used less my good journaling paper by using sort of a blotter like this. I wondered why my 3rd grade teacher always used this, and now I know why. She loved just writing. I'm going to write your name down, and so she would go, "You're Michael," and here's what you did today. I'm like, I know, and she wrote down something every day that I did. Okay. Anyway, she was a good lady though. All right, so let's see what we got. A rooster with a bill. All right, here we go. Let me go through some of these just to see what you came up with. Rooster with fireworks. Okay, that's good. That's 4th of July. Fireworks. Okay, that's good. That's good. Fishing off of a boat. Fishing. Okay, I've done that. Boat. Not off of a boat. Getting a rooster on a boat, windy, is going to be tough. Self-portrait. What are you saying? Look at this. I just cut my comb. Now you're saying to go back and use it. I'll find that. You know, they say people start to look like the pets, and so yeah, look at that. Okay, woohoo! I can do that. A Hauser-roo. A Hauser-roo. I don't even know what that is. A plate spinner. Oh my gosh, that's pretty good. I've actually done a plate spinner. He's their own sticks. Okay, plate spinner. Yeah, man, that's a good one for this time, isn't it, Alex? Fixing the waste treatment plant while playing guitar and mowing the grass. All right, one of the days here, I'm going to write myself a note. I'm going to show you my diploma from North Carolina. What you say? Wait, I thought you said you didn't go to school. Yes, but I have a diploma from North Carolina in wastewater treatment. You can't make this stuff up. Climbing a mountain with chicks. Okay, that's good. Hedgehog and a rooster. Whoa, hedgehogs are kind of fun. You got a little pointed nose and then just a bunch of little spires coming out. Hedgehog. All right, so these will give me some ideas as I go forward. I just thought it'd be fun to do this today. I got another one, firework. Rooster riding a firework. Okay, that's good. Tightrope walking, Statue of Liberty roo. Wow, some of these are very good. Rooster and a hen looking at eggs, nesting box. Wow, okay. A roo making a roo. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's up there. That's different right there. I like that. I see a skillet. I see a big wooden spoon. You know you got to use wooden spoons in your cast iron. Don't be using any. All right, so that's good. A roo making a roo. All right, so that's enough. Don't send me any more yet. And Janet Kelly, I don't know. Are you talking Hauser? What is the Hauser? Is that a dog? I don't know what a Hauser is. That's a Mauser, and I don't know what that is. Okay. Rooster painting a billboard with Peeps as his helpers. Okay, that's good. Billboard. You know, I had my own billboard one time for the informal, informative, incisive, incandescent, incomparable, indescribable, little humble radio show in Asheville, North Carolina. I had billboards and all across the town. And one day, the people came to interview me about the show that I was doing as Big Panda Swing Show on radio. And so they said, could we meet you and shoot a photo thing? And I said, yeah, meet me at the corner of this street and this street. And when I did, I got there before they did, and I'd cut out a giant mustache, and I climbed up on the billboard. It was only about 7 feet above the street line. It was one of those on a little lot. And I'd put a fake mustache on my own picture. You know, remember the old days? So, Rooster jumping off of a barn. All right, so man, I got a bunch of it here. Rooster, 4th of July, fireworks. I might have to go with the fireworks. All right. Wow, you guys jumped in there. Thank you so much. I'll go back through these again and see what I can come up with. Tuba Improv. Yeah, thank you very much, Neil. All right, Rooster, flag. So it sounds like we're going patriotic here on the 4th of July. All right, see what we got. So that's going to be my warm-up painting today. I'm going to pick up something. I'm going to go with, I'm going to do with the flag. I'm going to do the flag and the fireworks, okay? I like fireworks too. Guys, you got to be careful with them. And by the way, I'm going to talk about paper and pens as I go. Ready? Here we go. All right. Let me just get this paint ready a little bit. This is American Journey paint. Just look it up as American Journey if you want to know. I got several notes yesterday. What kind of paint do you use? I've used, this is actually in a Van Gogh or Van Gogh, depending on what part of the country you come from. G-O-G-H, Van Gogh. This is actually a Van Gogh container. And the brown was Van Gogh, which I call ugly brown, or Neil Mallory does. So the Van Gogh people are coming after you. Lamp black I added. Andrews turquoise I added. Ultramarine French blue I added. Joe's red. Gambogi, pumpkin orange. This blue, which I hardly ever use, came with this color, and it's more of a cerulean, or who knows. I'm not a fan of it too much, but every now and then I'll throw it in. I tend to gravitate toward 4 or 5 colors, the ones that I like the best. I'm not going to paint something and send you something. If you purchase one of my paintings in colors that I don't like, I'm going to go, no. I had a big snafu one time. Not a big snafu. It's silly to say that, but I had some people from South Carolina send me and said, "Oh my gosh, would you do us some Gamecocks? You know, because we are the Fighting Gamecocks. Would you?" And I said, "No, I really don't draw those. You know, they got all their feathers all frustrated out, and they're all doing this, and so I said, but I'll try one, and I painted one, and so the lady said, no, we don't like it. You didn't use garnet and black, and I'm going like, okay." So this is the red I use. And they said, well, that's not the color. And I said, so they'll go to the bookstore and buy you a rooster. And so that's kind of how that stopped. All right, I got to cover up these notes now because it'll mess you guys up when you're looking. So let's see. So here we go. All right. So you draw cones, and you draw cylinders, painting this with the organ music. You don't hear a whole lot of organ music as you so this is an old-timey looking firework here, right? Okay, get this in. May have a stripe coming down, may have a lightning bolt on it like this, and then you got so this is what I suggest that you do sometimes. It's a lot like playing a game, like a Fictionary or Pictionary game where someone says, can you paint this or draw this? And you think, no, I can't. But honestly, learning to just do it in squiggles, no pencils, just pens, you tend to get your mind wrapped around your art a little bit, and you also will push yourself to become a better sketch artist. I'm not a great sketch artist, but I get the job done because I'm not afraid to just go make marks and mark over them. And that's part of it, is overcoming your fear of sort of everything. Well, I could paint if I could draw. Well, then learn to draw first. And that's what I did. I actually, and some of you know the story already, I actually took journals and I just sat through meetings for 6 or 7 months. I can say that now because I don't work at those places anymore. They had a way of boring people um, with some of the meetings that they would call that we could have handled outside. I read a book several years ago by Patrick Lencioni that's called Death by Meeting. And it was like, oh my gosh, why doesn't everybody in this organization read this book? Because you're killing me here. Every meeting that you could have could probably happen in 10 minutes in a hallway somewhere or over a cup of tea. But people schedule this long meeting. Then they send you 4 um, notices about the meeting. And then they say, don't forget, we're going to meet. And then make sure you bring this to the meeting and don't bring this to the meeting. You're going like, why don't we just show up and say, what do we have to decide on? Decide on and be done. So, uh, all right, rooster meeting a bear. Well, the preacher went out a walking. It was on one Sunday morning. Where's the pumpkin orange from? I don't know if it's called pumpkin orange anymore, but it's from all these colors. Let's see, Judy, I know you're a painter, so you asked me these questions. The pumpkin orange is probably from most all the colors that I've chosen to put in here are all American Journey colors. They're all from Cheap Joe's Art Stuff. Okay, and here I'll unwind one of Cheap Joe's. There it is, right there. American Journey. Can you see that? American Journey. And I just buy little tubes of paint like this. I don't like buying big tubes of paint because I just don't. If it develops a small leak, or these are metal canisters, and so you get it all out that way. And man, this will last me, good grief. I bet I've had this for 4 years, okay? So it looks like I might have to get a new one soon. What do you think? Yeah. But hey, there's a little bit in here. And then my dear friend Carol Bomer, sometimes, she's an artist in Asheville. I've seen her she'll just have these things piled up. I've seen her take her paintbrush and she'll go down in the end and she'll do all her painting just from what's down in here like this. Oh my gosh, there's a ton of paint in there. Look at that. That one brush, that's all the green I need right there. Done. Okay, so see there? Well, I throw that away. That right there was $9 worth of having to go buy a new tube. See? So be frugal as an artist, and that way it'll allow you to pass on your paintings without charging people thousands of dollars that you see in galleries. Of course, I wouldn't mind that. I think I'm going to do a big painting in the next few years. I'm just going to make it, $5,000 and just put it out there, and people are going to go, he's crazy. And then what's the old man say? It's like you meet the kid in the alleyway, and you step out in the alley, and he's got a little stand set up, and he's selling apples. He's got 2 apples sitting there, and he says, apples, $1 million each. And the guy goes, son, that's expensive for apples. Good grief, what are you thinking? He said, I'm thinking I just have to sell one of them. So there you go. So there's the story about painting sometimes. So some of my friends will put out a painting, and that thing will be like 5, 6. There's a gallery right now that some art hangs in, and there's a painting there that's $40,000. And I got to tell you, it is gorgeous. It's gorgeous. But here's my problem. I wouldn't have a place to hang it. It's like 15 feet long and 8.5 feet tall, but it is fabulous. And you know what it's of? The ocean. Oh, just the ocean. But he has done, and the artist is I've met him a couple times. He's an awesome guy. He lives in the middle of nowhere in Tennessee. And I mean, the middle of nowhere. This brother, and I looked at his first paintings, and I said, man, where do you live? I see this painting looks like the mountains of Tennessee. And he goes, oh my gosh, how'd you know that? And so, all right, so here's the rocket. See, I left some white in there. I think I am going to come in when that dries a little bit and put in some of this yellow. This is a little Gamboge yellow here. I'll try to pick up a few questions as I go through, because we're getting into the point where some of you see me paint so many of these. I want to make sure you're getting the right equipment that you need. The pens that I use fountain pens. Both of my fountain pens have ink in them that represent my style of painting. Okay, let me see if I can move me over just a little bit. My big head is in the way. Or move this over. I'm trying to do it all at one time here. All right, so here we go. Uh, this is a Lamy fountain pen. Some of you picked up this pen. It's just a great pen to have. And this is a pen that if I sit down, if I wrote you a note tomorrow, I'd probably write it with this Lamy pen. But I like this ink, and I like the way that the ink bleeds on the paper with water on it. This is an old deer fountain pen that my kids gave me in a set many, many, many years ago. My wife bought it for them to give to me. Um, it's a German-made pen. It's a medium nib, and inside it, it has a small Speedball ink cartridge. Okay, so I'm actually taking it apart so you can see it, and it looks like if I don't put some ink in it today or tomorrow, I won't be painting with it at all. And I've got a whole box of Speedball ink here somewhere on the desk, but that's Speedball ink. And you just order it from the company. Yeah, think of Speedball, the ones who do the dark ink print stuff. So those are my two. The pens that I go to sketch mostly with are Pentel pens, and they look strangely different because the company just couldn't be happy and they had to go in different decors. And so it's confusing. Like here, this pen and this pen are both the same pen. They're both 07s. And you go like, what are you doing here? But I like this one. I liked it when this was an 05 and I could just reach and pick up the blue one knowing it was 05, and the white silver was 07. But these are both 07. Needle tip is the pen you want to go to there. It says needle tip and it's Pentel. Look, these is what I sketch with. You can sketch with anything you want. Just have fun with it, okay? Don't overthink it. Just use a pen a few times, and if you don't like it, then give it to somebody else and say, hey, I was using this pen and I don't care for it anymore. Would you like to try it? And then also, I think I've told you about this. I share pens with people every now and then. And Sheila and Ned out in Washington State, he sent me a dozen pens that he wanted me to try. And you know what? I fall in love with that pen. It's on the desk here somewhere. Here it is right here. It's called a stylus. There it is right there. I should get it so you can read it. Can you see the word stylist? Stylist. Never seen them in stores, but order them online. It's a felt tip pen. He's an architect and he uses this pen. And it has a fine tip, okay? But it bleeds a really cool color too. I use that. And then I use an ultrafine flare, which have been discontinued now for about 10 years. And I still have a box. Thank you, Chip Cash, for when you moved out of your office. You had a box of these sitting around. I'm grateful to you. Called me and said, would you like some? And I'm going like, I'll be right over. Okay. So, in fact, I'll help you load the truck to move your office if you'll just give me those pens. All right. So I need a little brown here. So, all right. So I'm doing two things at once. I'm talking to you. I'm answering your emails or your notes. And the fuses are always kind of an interesting color on fireworks. You ever notice that? They got a little bit of gold in them. They got a little bit of red in them. I don't know why that is, but they always look kind of funky. And I think I think we're going to do something else to this rocket here in a second. These are peeps on a rocket instead of a Roo. Got by with a bigger rocket, and then there's a mark. I actually dropped my pen on the page, so I'll use that in a second. And I made a mistake down here. See that? I just wiped my finger through it trying to show you something else. That's what I get for trouble. So I'm going to wet that really good, and I'm just going to go in and pick up some of that. How will I camouflage that in a painting? Oh, there's lots of ways to hide it. Okay, I'll actually go in with some more water, wet it pretty well, and I'll come in with a clean blotter, which is just a paper towel. And then I'll wind up saying, okay, I need to cover that a little bit, so I'll come back in with some of that green, and I'll do some dirt, underbrush, or something just to hide that. Okay, so you hide your mistakes in paintings. Yeah, I'm not going to throw this painting away just because I spilled a little yellow paint down on the side. No way. And part of it is my style too. So my style is sort of very forgiving. All right, so you see where we're headed with this. We're headed off into the wild blue yonder. It's kind of a night sky, so I could probably go in, throw in a little bit of gray up here just like this. Man, the time rolls through when I'm talking and rambling and talking and rambling. Sorry. All right, so pens, paper. The paper I'm painting on this morning is a Fluid 100 paper, or this is just fluid watercolor paper. I like this company. It's very reasonable paper. It's acid free. It's not 100% cotton, but it's got a lot of cotton in it. It's cold pressed finish. Cold press tells me that the tooth on the paper is going to have a real tough grip. This is Kilimanjaro bright white here, or natural white. Kilimanjaro is a American Cheap Joe's product, made in England. This is a 100% rag cotton. Great paper, great paper. Okay, love it, love it, love it. All right, let me let this. Here, wait. I'll put a little flame. The match is already lit. I love this when the match kind of flares up. There's a little bit of yellow. Fire is kind of hard to paint a little bit, but there you go. There's a little bit of that right there, and it's also got a little bit of this gray. And Alex, you were asking me yesterday. I think you sent a question in. I may have answered it. You don't see gray at Joe's. I sent them a note, but I think you're going to find that the Sag Harbor gray that I use is probably now French gray. French gray. I think they just probably changed the name, made it a little Sag Harbor. Who wanted that? Terry, I use the watercolor pencils for my grandkids. Oh, Shinoa says this. 2 to 4, they work pretty good. Easy controls like getting outside excitement. Yeah, that's pretty fun too. If you have watercolor pencils. By the way, you can also dip your pencil in the water, and that softens up the lead. But you got to watch how kids press down. Kids draw with pencils like this. Tell your kids and your grandkids to draw like they're on thin ice. To let it skate like a skater skates on thin ice. Like you want to think, I'm just cruising along. Then you have less erasing to do. Jethro, welcome. Morning blessings to you, man. I'm glad you're here. Tried to show my grandson how to paint with a light brush yesterday. Yeah, boy, that's tough, Terry. Hauser is a top cellist. See, very neat. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna look him up. Thank you for explaining that to me. I love cellos and I love the sound. I'm a Yo-Yo Ma fan, of course. Paint what you see of the Roo Crew. Look at that. Carol Todd says Terry Tardy's name should be in there. She hadn't missed a day, so whatever she says, paint it. Would it be Indian yellow? I think Indian yellow is a little more sunlit, Judy. Can't tell you that for sure. And no way I could get into that on the internet because your phone could be at a different texture, or if you're watching on a tablet, or if you know how to project this on your TV, which is the way I watch. We watch cooking shows and internet shows. Okay. All right. Paper type for rookies. Viveka, is it Viveka? I just went through that. 140 pound, just a 140 pound medium paper is great. And by the way, a very inexpensive paper that I've been using is this paper right here. Can you see that? Arteza. Arteza comes 32 sheets. It's 140 pound. It's not 100% cotton, but I like it, and for this reason right here. I think you'll like it too. Let me rip a piece off. Voila. And let me put this piece back up down here so I don't roll over it. Here's kind of what I like about it for the projects that I do. It's good quality paper on this side. It's not as heavy toothed as my 100% cotton paper, okay? But I like this style because it lets me be a little looser. But guess what? This is the cold press side. You turn it over, and on the back, it has more of a kind of a hot press side. So that means the surface is a little bit slicker. Okay, cold press has tooth, hot press a little slicker. Is there technical information for all that? If you were in an art class, they'd be telling you exactly what it was. If you were asking me about coal for a blacksmith forge, I would say you have to have a low sulfur, high BTUs, soft bituminous coal from the mountains of West Virginia if you're going to do that. And I'd get specifically where to go pick it up. Paper, that's a little more. Come on, you can paint on anything that you have. I paint on tablecloths in restaurants, and I give those paintings away sometimes. So my point is, this is 140 pound cold press feeling side. It feels that way to me, and it says cold press on there. But you turn it over, and it's like mixed media. It's not as slick as this mixed media, which is just from Michaels, a Strathmore 184 pound paper that's slick, okay? You can use markers on this and they won't go through. And I like this sometimes when I'm using watercolors because it causes my paint to just explode and blow out, and I like that. That's the style. So as you work to get your supplies well, work on your style also, okay? I'm going to do two things at once. I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to find a little piece of paper that I started here somewhere. I know I did. Don't tell me I didn't. Here it is right here. Okay. I started a little painting when I sit down this morning to turn my computer on to make sure that everything was going to work. And so I think it'll fit in with my other one. Here's a little Roo right here. He's got a big old honking nose or beak. And he's stepping out here like this, but his tail is coming back pretty high up. This leg is coming out because he's walking. This is a little bit like a painting that I did a couple weeks ago that I called The Parade, which is one of my favorite paintings. You know, as an artist, you certainly say, I love painting that. And someone said fly fishing. I love painting that. Yeah, Viveka, thank you. That's a good paper to start on. And Terry Tardy, you're saying you enjoy watercolor blocks, and I'm with you on that 100%. And let me explain to you what a block is. Here's a block. Okay, this is a watercolor block. This is Aquarella. You're going to pay a little more for this piece of paper or this block. Take a look. Hey, Suzanne from DeBerry, Texas, or D-Berry. This is a block still wrapped up, but here's what it looks like unwrapped. Take a look. All the paper is stuck together. It has a glue, a very fine glue all the way around the edge. There's one little corner loose right here. So when I paint on this and I use a little more water or a lot of water, it stays flat, glued down. It doesn't want to buckle on you. So what I do is when I'm painting like this, sometimes instead of just loose paper, I've learned to adapt with my style, how much water, how much paint. That'll just come over time. Okay, don't quit because you're frustrated. Dig in, all right? That's the encouragement you hear from me today. Just dig in. Go smaller instead of larger. You think, oh, I need bigger canvases. No, you don't. Cut your paper smaller. Paint tinies until you get control, okay? So paint small. All right, what is that? That sounds very biblical. Do it in the small things first, then you get the big things. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. When you paint on this, let it dry, and then you can get a palette knife, like so, and you can find the corner here. My choir's getting a little loud there. And I'll just find the corner, and I'll lift up the corner there, and I'll put this palette knife in, and then I'll go zip, 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 and this piece comes loose. So the glue helped the paper down. That's a watercolor block as opposed to a watercolor pad. This is a pad. It's a pad of paper. It's just glued at the top, and all these pages are just loose. See that? Okay, pad, block. There you go. Hey, you're learning all kinds of things here that you didn't learn in school because the teacher said, take out a sheet of paper. My teacher said, there's a piano under your desk. Take it out and write a concerto in the G major. And I'm going like, what? Okay. All right. So there we go. That's some of it. Good morning from Missouri. And all right. So this is, who's in Charlotte? Oh, he's driving to Charlotte today. Okay. And I'm driving the other direction a little later. Okay. Look at this. This is one of the things I love to sketch all the time too. You know what it is, right? It's a little red wagon. I love little red wagons come 4th of July. There's something that's really fun about them. They make me laugh. They remind me of my own kids. I built my daughter's wagon, her first one. So fun to build it. Build it out of oak. And got to put a peep in here like so. Glad I put that horn section in the orchestra. I knew they were coming, right? All right, standing up in there. And he's got the flag right here like this. There's your flag coming in right there. So the flag's probably got a little bit of a sweep to it like this. More of a little. All right, so this morning I got to finish this, and I got to move all my equipment downstairs, and I got to do a live half hour for Works Tools on red, white, and blue. Which reminds me, I've got to change shoes. Here's the shoes I'm wearing this morning for my. Look at those babies. Stars and bars. Are those cool? There they are. They're Converse, man. These are Chuck Taylor originals, and these, by the way, are from 2002. And don't they look good? Because I only wear them 2 times a year. You know this car? I only drove it on Sundays. So there they are. That's my stars and bars I'm going to wear today. I thought about doing a rooster and stars and bars, and I might do that even tomorrow morning for the 4th of July. But I'm going to wear these today. And look at this, man. I can keep the bottoms of these things clean. We were working with the Olympics in '96 when it came to Atlanta. I was special events coordinator for the Olympic Youth Camp. Wow. Did you know that all the Olympics have youth camps. Yep, while the Olympics are going on, unfortunately not this year. All the Olympics are going on. There's a camp going on at the same time. And we had 500 campers from 147 different nations. Some of them were athletes who had gotten their travel arrangements already and just missed out by a little bit. They came into the camp. Some were just sons and daughters of people involved with the Olympics in those countries. And so I got to create crazy games for the Olympic Youth Camp. Man, we did some crazy, crazy stuff. This is a tiny parade. Okay, so this is heading to the 4th. Don't you like? So you probably should put the right end of your brush into the water. Okay, so pay attention, people. And by the way, somebody told me yesterday, oh my gosh, I need to, somebody told me they needed to throw their brushes away and get bigger brushes. And I'm going like, no. Don't do that, okay? Those are patriotic chucks, man. Those are, and so I wound up buying like several hundred pairs of those. And because we had a budget to do something really crazy. And so we gave them to kids all over the country. And then I came to work for a church in Charlotte several years ago, and many years ago. And I gave my team one year summer gift, and I gave them all stars and bars. I love those shoes. Chuck Taylor still makes them. They're not cheap. Because I have a little bit of red paint on my brush, I'm going to go ahead and do the red stripes on the flag. Here it is right here. Look, I don't have to paint the flag perfectly. It's been waved. It's been worn. It's paid its dues. I love it. Got one hanging outside today. My thing, I'm building a giant tic-tac-toe for Works Tools. It's all red, white, and blue. That's what I'm doing at 11 o'clock today, if that show works. Hatia, welcome aboard. What pencil do you use? Courtney, most times I don't use a pencil, but if I do, well, there's not one on the deck. There's not a pencil here. I love Murata Black Warriors. I love real wooden pencils. I like an old cedar pencil. I don't like plastic barreled pencils. I do have a mechanical pencil here somewhere. Here, this is a small little mechanical pencil. You saw some sketch on this. Yeah, so I knew it was up here somewhere. It's a Kurutoga. There we go. And it's a 0.5. So it's just a little mechanical pencil that I use sometimes. But most of the time I just use a regular pencil. It must be in my bailout bag. Those of you who just joined me, if you don't have a bailout bag, you got to get one. Here's one. Here's a pencil. Nope. No, there's not. You can spend a lot of money on sketching pencils like this, for 2B, 3B, 2B, not 2B, 4H, 2H, 1H, 4B. You don't have to, and it gets kind of expensive. I actually made a pencil one time that had 2 erasers, but it was pointless. It's joke day. That just came to me right then. Hey, this is a bailout bag. This is one of my bailout bags. This is a bag right here that I keep a few things in when I'm getting ready to travel. I'll keep my 2 favorite pens in there. I'll keep 4 favorite pens. I'll keep a couple of brushes in there. I'll keep a bamboo brush in there. I'll keep my Altoid box right here. I'm knocking stuff over. This is my Altoid box that's got little paint pans in it. Ticonderoga are good pencils as long as they're solid wood. I prefer a mechanical pencil because I don't carry a Swiss Army knife pencil sharpener. Yeah, that's a good way. I'll show you how to sharpen a pencil too with a pocket knife. There you go. So this is what I carry for paint, and I usually carry a few little pieces of paper down in here because I never like to be caught without good paper. So I carry small pieces, 4 to 5 inch pieces, plus also 3x3s, and these become my business cards. And so with this brush and this, I'll paint just about everything that I need in most cases where I'm sitting at a wedding reception while my wife dances. I paint. So that's my bailout bag. So you might want to put together a nice bailout bag to take with you. That way you're always there. I was working on something. What was it? Using a small brush today. This is a little 1/8 inch bamboo, Locral dagger brush. It's called the dagger brush. If you can see the word right there, it says dagger, D-A-G-G-E-R. I don't even know where I bought this brush. I bought 5 or 6 of them 10 or 11 years ago, and I still kind of hold on to them today. And if I see one in an art store somewhere, I know the name well enough to just go grab it and take it off the shelf. And, the guy always says, man, that's interesting. We don't sell any of those brushes. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Okay. All right, so now I'm taking that pen, which is the fountain pen, that just has Lamy ink in it, just black ink. This actually may be, yeah, I don't know if it's Lamy ink or not, but it's going to serve my purpose. It's going to bleed a little black, blue, gray. Watch this when I take my, I don't know if I'm going to wind up with any paintings today. Sometimes I talk and sometimes I paint. It's just what this show's all about. I like a little blue in the tail. I just love it. It matches the flag too. Roosters are pretty patriotic. Did you notice that already? Okay. I think this rooster has on a vest. A vest, right. He's got on a vest. I love that. I love the fact that he's got on a vest here. He's got on a vest. Got a collar on. He's got on a vest. And on the vest is, what's on the vest? A big star on the back like this. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's going to be perfect. Okay. A little patriotic Roo here, and his vest is blue. Don't you like that? Okay, that's coming. There's a part hanging off here. Collar's turned up. Got a star on the back. All right, now I think I'm going to just let the rest of him just sort of be brownish, fade away into the sunset here. Sounds like I need to take a sip of tea, huh? Tea, total Tommy took a toke of tea. Yeah, my brain cannot be trusted, but that's good. All right, I'm mixing a little paint over here for the legs. I always mix a little bit of Gambogi yellow, a touch of red just to get the, and I'm going to do the same on these legs. I'm going to do his beak in that color. I'm going to do his beak really kind of a bright yellow, if I could find my blotter here, just to get some of that paint off there. Didn't put a whole lot of water in that brush. It just really picked up mostly paint. Just kind of gave it a brush down through there like that. Okay, so there's our Roo. He's walking out. This peep, I like to paint them just bright yellow with a little touch of orange in there. That's where I touch up that pumpkin orange. I don't use it for too many things, but I'll go in and get a little bit of this pumpkin orange here and just touch it right in the back. Because I know Roos they also have a little spot like that, or peeps do, and then they just have some little dark spots underneath. I think this wagon is rusty red, so I'm going to use a little water first. Thank you for enjoying. I'm giving you some things it's tough to go to the art store if you've never done this before and figure out what it is that you need. I mean, it's like going to, what's a cooking store? Sur La Table. It's like going to Sur La Table and say, gosh, I'd like a frying pan. And they go, okay, here's the Le Creuset. They start at $270. And you're like, whoa. But hey, I own a lot of cast iron pans, but most of them are from 1940 and back. But the new ones today, like the Smithies coming out of Charleston, they're $300. Man, that's a lot for a pan. So usually I have some fun with the birds, and I'll say, man, I got to really like eggs before I'm going to pay $300 for a skillet. And all right, the wheels on this wagon are going to be Payne's Gray. There's where you get in a little Payne's Gray action there. And I think I'm going to leave the little hubs white. I'm just going to touch a little piece of red right in the middle of them, just like that. I like a little more red coming on the wagon. And I think this wagon has got a little bit of green coming down right here. Why? Because it's got a little bit of brown on it too. It's rusty. It's just got a little rust on it. This wagon's seen the ropes. These guys are out marching on the road here. So and grassy road. Who knows? All right. All right, I got to go back to my other painting here in a second, too. Whoa! All right, you know how I paint peeps, right? Hens. I always paint them with a little bit of French blue. My wife started me on that years ago. Man, hens should be French blue. And I'm going like, she's so right. It just makes them pop. And also it makes this whole scene kind of come together here with them. So notice, I'm not filling it in. If you want to teach your grandkids and your kids how to paint, don't tell them not to paint in everything. Leave some holidays in the work. Leave some holidays in there. Okay? All right. And a little bit of, man, this is a tiny parade and I like it. I like painting tinies, and I encourage you this holiday to just take some of the paper, take your scissors, rip it on the table, take a paper shear, do something and cut yourself some small pieces of paper Nothing over 4 to 5 inches. Maybe even some little 3 to 6 inch pieces like this, or 5 inches. I don't know what that is. I don't have my ruler up here. Queen Mary's a ruler. Queen Mary's also a ship. Ships sail seas. Seas have fishes. Fishes have fins. Fins fought the Russians. Fire engines are always Russian. That's why fire engines are red. Help, here it is right here. See? That's what happens when your brain fires. Look at that. 6 and an eighth. 6 and an eighth right there. 6 inches. That's just a scrap piece that came off of one of those cuts. Didn't throw it away. And the reason I didn't throw it away is because I figured someday I'll paint something with it. Okay? All right, I'm hustling. That means I'm looking for pins. I like some little stitching around this this star here. See that? I put some little patchwork on there, and I'll put some little buckles on his vest there. Now that really does look like a vest. I like it. There's a little bit missing right here that could have a little piece going behind here. There. So I'm going to add a little more of that blue in there. I better wash this brush out. Remember, try not to, when you're painting, don't put your dirty brush back into another color. Don't do it. Okay? You heard Rue say don't for the first time in a long time. Don't do that. Clean your brush out and go back in with another color. Okay? I might have to get some John Philip Sousa music here on this next. Okay, a little red in the tail. There we go. All right. Now what I'm going to do in here is just kind of come up and mess up this road just a little bit, put some detail in. I think you can see what I'm doing here. I'm taking this pencil. I know this is a tiny, but that's what you get when you paint tinies. It needs a little bit of blue sky. And yeah, we'll do just a touch of splatter, but just a little blue sky up here because it's just a gorgeous 4th of July. You know what? Not a cloud in the sky, not a thread of rain. Regardless if it's raining or not, you're going to just have a 4th of July. Celebrate indoors if you have to. Just celebrate wherever you are. If it's hot, go out and get hot with it. All right, a little more green down here. I think we need just a little bit of green. I think there is probably a couple rockets in there for later. You know, you got to have a couple little rockets in the tub. Started out with rockets and roos this morning. There's a couple right there. Heading off to do a little bit of a parade action. I'm going to drop a little bit of that gray in there, and I'll start calling this French gray instead of Sag. I can't do that. It's Sag Harbor gray to me. But just put a little bit in there. I like the hen to have just a little bit of definition. That sort of filled in some of those holidays anyway. All right. All right. This was a good piece of paper before I threw it down there. I don't know what I'm going to do with it now. There's the logo. Some little marks on the wheels. There's some little lines. Okay, so there's my little painting. And then what I got to do is, I think I'm going to have to put some stars in that flag. Okay, eyelash. Oh, do you want to have the hen have an eyelash? Is that what that means? I'm not sure. There it is right there. Okay, so there. I'm not sure what that meant. All right. Yeah, see, now you're loving to put ink in your paintings. Isn't that cool? All right, so look right here. This is a pen that I think I've shown you once. It's by Signo, S-I-G-N-O. It's made by Uniball, and it's white. It's white ink, and it's pigment ink. So I'm just going to go in here, make sure it's writing the way I want it to write, cleaned up a little bit. And then I'm just going to go in, and I'm just going to use it like this. And put some stars in the flag. See that? Boom. That's it. Okay? You know, all the great painters were all nearsighted, so they look at that from a distance. They go, oh my gosh, how do you do those little stars? And you look close and go, they're just dots. Okay. All right, so we finished that one up. I'll sign it and put a little caption on it. And maybe it's just going to say, on the wagon, it's going to say, Happy 4th. Okay? And then I'm going to sign it right here, along this side right here. Roodoodles. All right. All right. So let's finish this painting. So there's the tiny parade today from your Roodoodles. Man, they're all ready to go. She could actually have, what could she have? Let's see. Maybe she's got a couple of stripes in here. Let's see if we can do that. She's the one that probably should have had the stars and bars, but the detail would have killed us. So, but I'll I'll just go put a couple little stripes on there, like she's got some little bit of red in her wings, and that way that'll match her in perfectly. There we go. I like it. I like it. All right, so there's that painting, and here's this one that I want to finish. Let's see. I had an idea on this. I thought I would do some already exploded fireworks. So let me go in and just get another. Let me go in and get a brush here. I want to touch a little bit of yellow on this right here, and I want to come back and just do a little bit of this lightning bolt in yellow right here. All right, and maybe put a little yellow band across here. Okay. All right, so a little decor on that firework. Match is already going here. This Roo needs an eye. He's the mischievous one. He's talked his brother into riding the firework out. Hey, be careful if you shoot fireworks this year. Good grief, they're dangerous people. Now you see what that was. They've tied him on, so he's ready to roll. And let me just do a couple fireworks for you before I'm out of here. Take a look at this. I'm just going to take my brush, and we're going to drop a little bit of yellow in right here, like so. Maybe some extra water, maybe a touch of red in that, like so. And then we're just going to blow in it like this. There we go. Boom. That's one. Maybe get a blue one over here, right here. A little bit of this in it. Maybe a little bit of that blue that I don't use very much right there. And maybe a touch of Andrews turquoise. Splatter that a little bit and just blow in that. Boom. There's one. All right. So maybe down here we'll go in with a little more of that yellow and red. I like that. And let's get a little pumpkin orange. Just drop it in. This is completely random, okay? So you just throw it in there like this. A little more water, like so, and blow it here. Boom. Those look like fireworks to me, exploding in the night sky. A little gray up here like this. That's going to represent some smoke coming off of them. You know what the air feels up like when it's there. Just let this kind of sprinkle around. There we go. All right, so there we go. Godspeed. All right, there we go. There's two patriotic paintings for today. The little fireworks. This is 6x6. This is 3x6. Yeah, about half of that. And there they are for today. I'll post those just for fun. And hey, remember, you can find me at roodoodles.com. There's the book. Some of you ordered the books yesterday. I appreciate that. If you order a book from Amazon, it comes from Amazon quickly. If you order from me, it takes a little longer because I have to open it up. And I paint an original in the front, and I'll autograph this one to the several I sold yesterday to someone today and get it out of here, okay? But right now, I got to run and do another show at 11 o'clock, so I got to move my studio downstairs. And you literally breathe life into the painting. Boom! Benicio says, Vive Lim says, awesome. Thank you for being on the broadcast. I hope I got some. I'm going to go back and look at some of your Renee, happy anniversary. It's on the 4th of July. There you go. Outstanding, Mickey. Thank you for being on this morning. Barbara Nichols, balloons would have been nice. You're absolutely right. My gosh, where was I? Why was I not thinking about that? Look at this. I could have put a balloon right here and a balloon right here. That would have just been so fantastic. See what happens when you guys come up with good ideas. I love it. I love it. I love it. One of those balloons has to be red. And one has to be blue. Notice what I did. I put in some paint, and then I used a dry brush to finish it. Okay, and there they are right there. There's a couple little balloons up out of the wagon. Boom, done. Loved it. Mom said don't play with matches. There's a reason for that. Signo by Uniball, Uniball. That's the white pen that I used. Okay. Hey, uh, perfect. Thank you very much. I'm glad I could be a part today. Thank you for joining Roodoodles Live. Hey, thank you for sharing my page. Today's 89 of 100. I'll keep on until maybe, Lord willing, I'll keep on until I get to 100, and then we'll decide what we're going to do from there. So we talked a little bit about pen, paper, pencils, brushes. I used mostly bamboo, but also today, for just on purpose, I used for tinies. Start small and work toward larger paintings, okay? And right now, text somebody, send somebody a note of encouragement and say, hey, I hope you're doing well for 4th of July. If not, I'll bring over my Spanish fencing swords and we'll roast some hot dogs over like an old pallet on the back porch. Okay? Do something fun. Enjoy. And I'll see you tomorrow, Lord willing. I think I might be here. Okay? Until then, next time, I finish with this. Shh.